My name is Carter. Today I want to tell you my story about how getting sick showed me who people really are. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and comment below, where are you watching from? The message came in right after sunset. This isn't what I agreed to. Just 7 words sitting beneath a screenshot showing our empty joint account. All $42,000 gone. Savings we built together over 6 years. I stared at it, feeling my stomach sink. I'm 34, head mechanic at Carter's Garage in Boise. Just that afternoon, I'd been at River Valley Medical hearing terms like stage 2 lymphoma, treatment options, and good survival rates. But a tough fight ahead. I stepped outside and called Brooke, my wife. I asked her to meet me at home so we could talk. She said she was tied up, running errands, said she'd be back later. When I got home, half our closet was bare. Her suitcase is missing. The framed vacation photo from our nightstand was gone too. Then that text came, along with proof she'd moved every cent into an account under only her name. I sat for a long minute, then replied, "Goodbye." I grabbed a beer, went out to the deck, and watched the sky darken. No yelling, no tears, just this deep, hollow weight settling over me. Cancer that I could fight. What Brooke did? That was a different kind of hit. Mark, my neighbor, spotted me sitting there. He came up to the fence. "You all right?" Saw Brooke drive off fast, car packed full. "Got some bad health news," I said. "She didn't handle it well." Mark nodded. "Well, holler if you need anything. Rachel made too much baked lasagna tonight." "Thanks, man." When he left, I went inside and pulled out a folder my Uncle Walter had given me last month. He'd been helping me since my granddad passed and left me a small lakeside cabin. Walter had said, "You gotta get your affairs in order, Carter," especially being married. I'd started updating my will, setting up a new bank account for the land sale, and had almost added Brooke to the title of my '72 Camaro. Almost. I picked up my phone and called Walter. "Remember our talk about planning?" I asked. "Yeah. Is everything okay?" "No," I said, "but it will be." I met Brooke back in 2014 at my buddy Nate's wedding. She worked as a legal assistant, sharp and funny. We moved in together after 6 months and married the next year. Those first few years felt solid. We saved, bought a fixer-upper. I spent weekends sanding floors and fixing pipes. Brooke picked out colors and furniture, posting pictures of our progress like we were some home improvement success story. My dad died when I was 12, and my mom raised my sister Jenna and me on a teacher's paycheck. She taught us to work hard, live smart, and always have a plan B. When she passed 3 years ago, that lesson stuck deeper than ever. Brooke came from another world. Her parents paid for everything: college, new cars, even part of our down payment. They never really understood why she married someone like me. Her dad, Martin, a finance executive, never used my name. Just called me Brooke's husband at events. Looking back, I see the cracks started long before my diagnosis. About 4 months ago, Brooke began pushing for us to move to Dallas. She said she wanted better chances, bigger dreams. I pushed back. My job was steady, the house almost ours, friends close by. After that, she got quieter, distant, always out with people I didn't know. And the little jabs started. "Don't you want more than working on engines?" My college friend's husband made a partner. They're building a second home. Sometimes I wonder if I should have moved to Chicago after college. I kept brushing it off. Told myself all couples have rough spots. When I found a brochure for apartments in Dallas in her purse, I didn't even say anything. I just quietly called Walter and started organizing our paperwork, just in case. 2 weeks later, what I thought was a stubborn cold led to swollen lymph nodes. Then tests, then the biopsy. The night before the doctor confirmed it, Brooke and I sat at dinner. She talked about someone at work getting a promotion. I sat there watching her, wondering if she saw the fear I was hiding. "You all right?" she finally asked. "Yeah," I said, forcing a smile. "Just tired." She gave a small nod and kept eating, not meeting my eyes, not asking anything else. That moment should have said it all. 3 days after she walked out, chemo began. The first session was brutal. A nurse guided me to a chair, hooked up the IV, and asked gently if someone had come with me. "I grabbed a cab," I said. "My wife's away." She paused, offered a kind look, then rested her hand on mine. "It's rough at first. You'll pull through." I didn't answer. Speaking felt impossible without breaking down. No one except the neighbor next door knew the full truth. Saying it aloud would have made it too real. Returning home, I found a dish left on the porch, baked lasagna with a note, "Made extra. Enjoy." I knew better, but the gesture still mattered. I tried to eat, couldn't. The night ended with me curled on the bathroom floor, shaking, sweating, completely alone. Later, I picked up the phone and called my sister. The words spilled out. The illness, the betrayal, the emptied accounts. She offered to come right then. I told her to wait. I had to sort things first. Morning came, and I called the bank. Learned she'd drained the money not long after I phoned from the clinic parking lot. She didn't even wait to hear the details. Just knew I was sick. That was enough. The sorrow inside me started to harden into something else. Not fury. A quiet, steady resolve. That afternoon I packed up documents, every paper that mattered, and drove to see my uncle. He read through everything slowly. "She shouldn't have been able to do this," he said quietly. "It was a shared account," I reminded him. He pulled off his glasses, rubbing his face. "It's more than heartless. Given your health, it could cross a legal line. She knew you'd have bills, treatments. Could we prove what she knew?" He thought for a long moment. "Phone records, the bank's time stamps, your medical records, they'd show a pattern." I handed over my phone, showed him the message she'd sent. "This isn't what I agreed to." His face changed. "That's strong evidence." The next few hours were spent laying out a plan, protecting assets, preparing documents, lining up what I'd need for the road ahead. Driving home later, my phone chimed. A message from her cousin. "I'm so sorry. I don't know what she's thinking. If you need anything, let me know." I hesitated, then typed back, "Did she tell you about the diagnosis?" The reply came fast. "Yes, she told us. Said she couldn't handle it and needed to start over. We're all shocked. It's not right." I put the phone down and rolled the windows down, letting the warm breeze hit my face. For the first time in weeks, I felt focused. I knew what needed to happen next. A couple weeks into treatment, a letter arrived, a formal notice. She wanted out. Claimed differences couldn't be fixed. Wanted her name off the mortgage, but half of what the house was worth. No word about the stolen money, not a mention of the sickness. I took it to my uncle. "She's got nerve," he muttered after reading. "Walk away with your savings and still ask for more." What's my move? Wait, let's see what she does next. The following day, a text came from a number I didn't know. "It's me. I know you're upset, but we have to work this out. My lawyer says I'm owed half the house." I left it unanswered. 3 days later, another message came through. "Acting childish won't help. I get that you're dealing with stuff, but I have rights too." Dealing with stuff. Like fighting cancer was just some phase I needed to snap out of. That was the final straw. The number got blocked. The next round of chemo nearly broke me. I couldn't eat for 2 days. Dropped 12 pounds. Finally, my sister showed up and stayed a week. She cleaned the house top to bottom, stocked the freezer, and drove me to appointments without waiting for me to ask. Before she left, another letter arrived from the lawyer on the other side. More demands. More threats about what was supposedly owed. She was furious. After what she pulled, she's lucky you haven't taken this to court already. "We'll get there," I said, though every part of me was drained. The following week brought a certified letter from the bank. She'd tried to strip my name from the joint credit cards. failed. She'd also attempted to get into the personal vault where the house deed, car title, and old family papers were stored, but she didn't have the second key. A call went out to my uncle right away. "She's running out of moves," he said. "She's scrambling now." "What's the next step?" "We move it all. Shut down that vault and get a new one in just your name. And finish that title paperwork for the Camaro." So I did. Took a sick day, though every day felt like one now, and made the rounds. Closed the vault, opened another, filed the title change at the motor bureau, wiping her name from paperwork that was never even finalized. That night, a new number buzzed my phone. "You changed the Camaro title? That car's half mine. You added my name." How did she find out? I'd only filed it that morning. It hit me. Someone inside was feeding her info. I called my uncle. "She's getting help. Someone's tipping her off." A pause. "Her dad's got connections. I'm not surprised." "So what now?" "We feed them false trails. Time for a trap." The next day, I called the realtor handling the cabin sale, asked her to hit pause, made sure to mention I was exploring other ways to cash out assets. Then I rang the investment bank, asked about pulling from an old retirement account, dropped hints about struggling with medical costs. It didn't take long. 2 days later, her lawyer fired off a fresh letter demanding a piece of any inheritance proceeds and fair division of retirement savings. When I showed the letter to my uncle, he grinned. Hook, line, sinker. "So what's our move?" Now we lay out the facts. The next month was all about survival. Treatments were brutal, but progress showed. Hair gone, weight down 30 pounds, but numbers were getting better. My sister came every other weekend. The neighbors checked in daily. Work hours were cut, but insurance stayed in place. Day by day, I focused on what mattered. Staying alive, staying steady, staying ahead of the mess left behind. Then came a call. "Got the bank records. Guess what she did?" "What?" "She shifted the money into a new account, then funneled 30 grand straight to her parents." I slumped into a chair. "Why?" "Hiding it, trying to muddy the trail. But that move, it backfired. The court will hate it. I don't want a drawn-out fight. I don't have it in me. It won't go that far. Once they see what we've got, they'll cave." 2 days later, I left a treatment session and spotted a silver car waiting in the lot. Her father behind the wheel, eyes fixed on the entrance, watching for me. I didn't hesitate. I walked over and tapped on the glass. The window came down, his face wearing that polished, unreadable look I knew too well. "You don't look well." "That's what cancer does. What do you want?" "She's worried. Says you're being unreasonable about ending things." I almost laughed. "Is that what she's calling it now? Unreasonable?" "She's offering what's fair, considering your condition. A split of everything, including the house." "Fair? After she emptied our accounts? After she walked out the same day I was diagnosed?" For a second, he actually looked uneasy. She was emotional. People make bad choices under stress. That wasn't some slip-up. She decided to leave. He exhaled. "You need to be realistic. Focus on getting well, not dragging this into court. You can't afford it." And that's when it hit me. They thought I was out of options, that I'd take whatever scraps they offered just to avoid more stress. They had no clue the cabin sale was still mine alone. No clue I'd filed that car title in time. No clue how much I'd documented. "Tell her she'll have my answer by Friday," I said, turning away. "Don't make this harder than it needs to be," he called after me. I didn't turn back. By Thursday, I sat down with my uncle and the attorney he'd brought in. We spread out everything. The bank records showing the money was taken right after my diagnosis, the message she sent, the witness statement from her cousin confirming she knew about the cancer, and the check to her parents. "This is textbook financial abandonment," the lawyer said, "and an obvious attempt to cover up what she did. No judge is going to like that." "What do we do next?" "We file first, show the court how she left during a medical crisis, tried to hide assets, and demanded she repay what she took, plus our legal costs. Will that actually work? She smiled. I've never seen a cleaner case, but I doubt it'll reach court. They'll fold once they see this. And if they don't? Then she loses everything, including her good name. For the first time in a long while, I felt like I could breathe. Friday morning, the paperwork went out, full filing, every piece of evidence attached. By lunchtime, their side was already asking for a meeting. That didn't take long, I said to my uncle. They weren't ready for this, he said. They figured you were too weak, too broke, or too worn out to fight back. We set it for Monday. The weekend was quiet, but the night before, another text came from a new number. This is cruel. I messed up, but you're being harsh. My parents can't pay back the money right now. You're trying to ruin me. I stared at the screen, thinking how twisted that sounded. I wasn't the one who left or drained our savings. I wasn't the one hiding behind family and lawyers. For once, I typed back, "You chose this path." Monday came. We gathered at the lawyer's office. I was told to stay quiet unless asked directly. They showed up, her father, and their lawyer, all polished and serious. She looked like the time away had done her good. I couldn't say the same for myself. She didn't meet my eyes. Her lawyer started. "We've reviewed your filing. My client is open to settling to avoid unnecessary drama." Our lawyer didn't miss a beat. "Let's be clear. This isn't a discussion. This is a final chance before court. Your client walked out on a husband with cancer, drained the accounts, funneled funds to her parents, and tried to claim more. We have it all on record." She shifted uncomfortably. Her father leaned forward. "Surely we can work something out." "Our records show your daughter sent the stolen money to you," our lawyer cut in. "So, will you be returning it today, or should we add you to the lawsuit too?" The room fell quiet. Their lawyer cleared his throat, at a loss for words. "What are you asking for?" their lawyer finally said. Our side laid it out. Every cent of the $42,000 returned. She'd drop all claims on the house, the Camaro, the cabin, and any retirement savings. She'd cover legal fees. In return, no criminal charges for what she'd done. "This is theft," her father muttered. "No," came the reply, calm and steady. "Theft is what she did. This is accountability." The meeting ended with their lawyer asking for 2 days to respond. As we walked out, she tried to catch my eye. I kept moving. In the elevator, my uncle gave my shoulder a pat. "You handled that well." I barely said a word. Exactly. Sometimes that's the hardest thing. 2 days later, the call came. They'd accepted everything. The money would be repaid within a month, and she'd sign off on the property. "It's done," our lawyer said. "You've won." But it didn't feel like winning. It felt like shutting a door on a chapter that was supposed to last forever. Still, for the first time since the diagnosis, I slept through the night. 30 days later, the check arrived. I took it straight to the bank, then to the clinic to pay off what I owed. The nurse at the desk smiled. "You look stronger. Your numbers were good last week." "Yeah," I said, feeling stronger too. A week after that, the divorce papers were signed. I felt empty. Not angry. Not sad. Just finished. "What's next?" my uncle asked as we stepped outside. "Finish this fight. Get healthy. Figure out where to go from here." He nodded. "That cabin sale should close soon, and if you want to part with the Camaro—" "Not ready for that," I said. That evening, I sat out back, glass of water in hand, watching the sky turn gold. The sickness had eased. My hair was starting to come back in patches. The doctors were saying good progress and hopeful signs. Then a message came in. Her cousin. "I'm sorry for what happened. They're selling their lake house to repay you. My aunt is furious, blaming you, but I want you to know I see the truth. I hope you're healing." I didn't reply. There was no point in dragging myself into their mess anymore. It was time to focus on building something new. Months later, the words I'd waited to hear came. complete remission. I sat there in the doctor's office, letting it sink in, not cured, but for now, clear. What now? Keep up with the checks, but for now, go live your life. That night I made 2 calls, my sister, who cried with joy, and an old friend who'd been offering me work for years. You still want me? Absolutely. When can you start? 6 weeks later, the house was sold. I used the money on a small place near the mountains, with space for my tools and the car. The day I left, the neighbors came to see me off. A home-cooked meal for the road, kind words, and a quiet goodbye. You okay? He asked. Really okay? Getting there, I said. Months into that new chapter, a message came from a number I didn't know. I heard you're in remission. I'm glad. I think about you. I made terrible choices. I'm sorry. I read it twice, then sent back just 4 words. I made it. Move on. Then I blocked the number, put the phone away, and picked up my tools. The car wasn't for sale anymore. It was time to rebuild it. For me, some things stay broken. Others, they come back stronger, just like I had. That's the story I wanted to share with you today. Even now, part of me still carries the lessons from that chapter. If you faced something similar, or if this made you think, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me what you would have done in my shoes. And if this story touched you in any way, make sure to subscribe. You never know. The next one might be exactly what you need to hear.